Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. In this video, I really only want to focus on the shorter time frame. In the last video I recorded yesterday, late yesterday, I also covered the daily chart. So if you're interested in that, feel free to check it out. But here on Sunday, not much happened. We just want to focus on the shorter time frame. Situation hasn't changed at all, but it might change, at least on the micro level. I mean, again, we're looking here at the 30-minute chart, because looking at the bigger picture, nothing changed. But here the idea is we could have topped there in this B wave, as you know, on the 25th of August. The current projection takes us down to around about 45.5K. But I explained to you in the last video yesterday that we're at a key pivot from where the bulls could make a comeback. There is some support around 51,900 for white wave 2, which is a flat correction, as you can see here on the chart. It's just at the moment not the preferred scenario because there is only either no or very limited evidence that this is playing out. So we have a wave 1 up. This would have to be a WXY structure in wave 2, and we're very deep in support. So if the bulls turn up, they should do it from here. Okay, maybe one more low, but they should do it from here. And this is something that I, however, can only confirm once we see a first 5-wave move to the upside, which breaks above resistance. And what these resistance levels are, we want to talk about in this video. So it can always be this 1-2 setup. And again, it's worth watching for it, but it's not expected until a break of resistance occurs, okay? Then the market will tell us that we are likely going up in what would be wave 3 to the upside. But don't think this is going to be an easy ride. No, it's not going to be. And it's likely going to take us into the 70K region. It's not going to be easy because this entire pattern that is highlighted here in white from the 5th of August low. By the way, in this scenario, the 5th of August would have been the low of a larger wave 4. This is all a diagonal pattern, so it's extremely difficult to navigate it if you're looking for precision. Last week we really had, or let's say this week, we had really good short trade setups which were quite clear, and maybe we get a few more next week. But at the moment, we see a little bit of a, just sideways consolidation over the weekend, and we're waiting now for a bit of clarity. So if we take a look at the preferred yellow scenario, however, it would be a scenario in which this wave 4, which in the white count presumably bottomed, in the yellow count, however, and again, this scenario seems to be leading at the moment, here wave 4 is still unfolding. And it could take us into the mid 40K region. And in this scenario, a B wave topped in August, end of August, and we're doing this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And within the third wave, we're now sort of in an impulse probably. At least that's my idea, that we are in an impulse. Something different might unfold, especially if we see a break, a sustained break above 54,776. Now bear in mind, I'm really on a small wave degree here. I could easily take out here this micro degree. What really matters is the degree here, circle 3, circle 4. And my idea is that, okay, we have an initial resistance area which isn't broken, but I highlighted to you yesterday that within this micro fourth wave, we had seen an ABC structure to the upside. As you can see, we then saw another 3-wave move down, which keeps the door open for higher prices, of course. But the micro degree wave count isn't so important. The levels are more important. We saw yesterday a slight break of resistance, and I said to you, this is the first warning, but it's not really broken. So we need to see if the market breaks below 53,080 next, which would be a confirmation that we're going down to the next low. Well, it's holding that. So I'm rather considering we might go a bit higher because we had that warning yesterday, that slight break above resistance, and it was only in 3 waves, so it's not necessarily bullish, but it might lead to a larger 3-wave move, which I've labeled here in blue just as an ABC structure for now, where the price might reach sort of the 100% extension at 56,200 actually. So it would even possibly slightly go above this resistance area, but we haven't even broken above yesterday's high. So let's see what happens today. I think at the moment there are a couple of levels which are really important. First of all, to the downside, 53,080, any break below it would indicate the start of wave 5 of circle 3 to the downside. Any break above 54,776, and particularly yesterday's high, would cause a test of the upper resistance area and the trend line. This in itself isn't really bullish, but if we see a 5-wave move up, at the moment I've still labeled in blue only 3 waves, but if this turns into 5 waves, we also break above the upper resistance area and then take out, and that's really important, the last swing high which formed on Friday at 57k, well then I think the bullish count is playing out, okay, or at least we can consider it. Again, it will not be an impulse, but it doesn't need to be an impulse. Bear in mind we're dealing with a larger diagonal, so it will be challenging to confirm the white count. The easiest pathway would be to confirm the white count to see a 5-wave move up like this, but we might not see that because in the white scenario we're dealing with a diagonal, and in the diagonal we're dealing with 3-wave structure, so it's going to be difficult to navigate it. I think we had good short trade setups. Now we might see a first break above resistance. That definitely means, okay, let's hold back a little bit. Let's watch what the market is doing and then waiting for the next 5-wave patterns either direction to give us the next setup. For now we're moving up in 3 waves, but we haven't moved down in 5. So this is down in 3 as well. And that always keeps the door open for higher. So what exactly this will be, I'm not sure yet, okay? So it could be that this move to the downside somehow is turning into a diagonal pattern, which wouldn't really fit the idea of a 1-2-1-2. So we would need to reconsider here, which would be absolutely messy again. But you've seen this week how good impulses can work out, but unfortunately Bitcoin might morph back into a diagonal or might even be turning around, which I think many people would be happy with. Yeah, so turning back into the white scenario, but that would indicate a failure of the bears. But again, we need to see first of all if the market can give us a signal. At the moment, even the lower resistance area is not broken, so we want to see both resistance areas break. The break above the trend line could be interesting as well. We have 4 touch points there, or even 5, and then just watching the structure of that rally. But bear in mind, we might not see 5-wave movements. Okay, so that's the thing, not in this diagonal, which if you're waiting for 5-wave movements to confirm something, that's why the context is so important, it might leave you, out of a position if you're looking for the white count. So it just means we don't have a good setup, yeah, on the long side. That's it. But there is an invalidation point, which would be the low of Friday the 6th, which is at 52,630. So I think today is important to watch for these resistances. Bear in mind, end of Sunday, typically we see a little bit of action. The trend line will be important to watch, and to the downside 53,080. So it's going to be an interesting day, I think later today at least. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.